For a review of market sentiment this week and a week ahead, Sam Ine, stockbroker at TFS Securities and Investments, joins me now. Thank you so much, Sam, for your time. Sam, if you can hear me, let's just go through into general market performance for today. We've seen in the last 3 days, the first day, Wednesday, we saw 0.25%. Yesterday, we saw about 0.05%. And today, at midday trade, we're looking at a marginal gain for the all-share index. Now, I imagine many stocks are probably trading at technical lows. But which of the sectors are enjoying investors' patronage at the moment?
Well, basically, the sectors that are experiencing the recent upswing is the banking sector. And just like you said, Esther, it has to do with these stocks being at their technical lows, as in they've been oversold. They are grossly undervalued by the market, and investors and traders alike are taking advantage of this technical position to be able to do a good hunting and make good appreciation. I basically think that is what is happening. And also because we are ending the third quarter and the market is in expectation of the third quarter result for this banking stock. If you look at the early gainers, it has to do with the big weights in the banking sector, the First Bank, Zenith, and all of that. So I think basically that is what is happening as we speak.
Okay, this bargain hunt for bank stocks, how long could we see this continuing? Could we see it going into the new week? I imagine there could be at some point some cautious trading ahead of the release of those financials.
My thoughts are basically springing from the MPC decision that that had come into the market some days back. Basically, before that, investors were a bit cautious as to what the MPC decision would be, and I think with that decision, they're a bit relieved. Also, because of first decision not to taper at the moment, that added to that relief, and investors have come in to take advantage of these decisions. But basically, my understanding is that the first decision not to taper is going to be short-lived, because the indications from the economy suggest that it will be very, very reasonable to taper before the end of this year. And looking back, one can understand why Fed decided to rescind from taper. I think it's because of the debt ceiling talks that is going on currently in US. We know that in the last 2 years, whenever these debt ceiling talks are on, there's usually a risk of sentiment because of the way the political parties drag the issues, and they only come to a compromise at the dying minute. And we're also looking at the issues that have been raised by the monetary policy decision that has to do with the dollarization of the economy vis-a-vis the naira value, the crude oil theft vis-a-vis our earnings, and I can't remember the third point, but these 2 points were basically raised when the MPC decision was communicated to us. Now, these issues have to be properly dealt with before we can see a sustained rally in the market. So I think this rally we have is basically a bounce off the technical low, and if these fundamental events come out positive, then we'll probably expect that we'll go into a strong rally. Otherwise, we might just see some channel movement, what you call sideways trading for now.
Okay, Sam, it's been a difficult trading month for the market, and even the quarter key indicators are in the negative for the quarter. Now, as a trader, looking back on the quarter, what would you say, or in what ways would you say this, what the market has experienced, has changed trading behavior or trading psyche for investors?
Yeah, one major event that we experienced was the increase in CRR to 50% for public sector deposit. This singular event is fundamentally strong, and it might affect the earnings of banks, particularly banks that are equally exposed to CDL. Recall that CDL's license has just been removed, and those banks might lose their equity and deposit investment in CDL. Now, investors are basically cautious concerning the Q3 results, and that really informed why we are seeing low volumes in the market as at now, and why the gains in the last 2 days is just marginal.
Okay, now we're looking at the market still in negative territory at midday trade, up marginally by 0.05%. It doesn't look strong at the moment, but do you think it could gain some momentum and then we could see a positive close when the bell rings?
No, I'm sorry, could you take that again?
We're looking at 0.05% to the upside for the all-share index so far at midday trade. Do you think it could gain some momentum and we could close in positive territory when the closing bell rings?
Yeah, I think so, but it might still be marginal.